Live. Starting fresh with 0 viewers tonight. All right, so tonight's gonna be a little bit different. What we've been doing is just kind of the same old. Me just rambling incoherently for quite a while. So tonight we've actually got something relatively interesting that's gonna happen. You may have seen it before. You may have not seen it before. What we're talking about is a dominant. I'm gonna call it a dominant big tire car. Previous Cash at the Creek winner. Hard to miss it. The Brian Godecki from Canada. See if we can bring him in here.
Am I on?
Oh, he's on. What is going on, Brian?
I was sitting in the garage, almost midnight, Canada.
I forget about the time difference. We were just talking about that. Brian was going to send me some winning lottery numbers with this 2-hour advantage that he's got going.
Yep. Got all the football game scores, everything in the future.
You going to send her down for me? Let me get a picture of this deal?
Oh, yeah.
What?
I don't know why nobody's caught on to that yet. It's a good idea.
I can't believe me and you just thought it up here, just sitting here before we got on the show. So what, real quick, everybody wants to know, the secret fuel of Canada is maple syrup, right?
Yeah. I got sponsorship, and we dip into the maple syrup reserves just for the car. And, freshest. Pure.
So you think you can send a barrel down this way, or probably not?
No, it's hard to get it across the border just for racing, so.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. Before we get too in depth here, I kind of want to let everybody get a minute to get on. But what year is the car?
It's 1969.
Wow. Is it actually a Nova, or is it a Canadian version?
It's actually part of 2 cars. So the VIN number would be an Acadian, Pontiac Acadian.
Okay.
But we just say Nova because if you tell somebody that you have an Acadian, they think of like the little boxy Nova style.
Right. That's what I always
like the
think.
80s. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. And because the Acadian, it was made the same years as the Nova, right? Like they had the Chevy 2 version of it and everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like the same car. It's just got maple leaves on the little splitter. I don't think I have one here. No, maybe I do.
So it was an Acadian, then it's got a glass. I'm assuming it's a fiberglass front of a Nova.
Yeah.
Is the back?
Yeah, so it's got. Sorry, I don't know if my camera skills are any good.
And he's gone, just like that. Oh, he tried to run a camera and he disappeared. Stand by for Canadian technical difficulties. I thought this was gonna be so smooth. I was so excited. Oh,
what the heck is that?
Okay, so let's not try any more camera skills.
Yeah, no camera skills. So just steel doors, fiberglass front clip, deck lids fiberglass, bumpers are fiberglass. It's got a little custom carbon fiber wing.
Is it actually carbon fiber, or is it wrapped in carbon fiber?
This little wicker bill piece is just aluminum wrapped, and then the rest is actual carbon.
Oh, man.
Yeah, my buddy Brandon in Thunder Bay built that in the garage. So
gosh, not bad at all. You do have some skills, I've noticed. I don't know, I suppose we've been talking for like a year on and off. And it's like every week you send me, I'm just working on my lathe here or my mill. Like
no, I don't have a mill. I have just a router that I hand mill things with. Okay. But I'll bring you in the corner here. This is the monstrosity of a lathe I picked up. It just goes forever.
Is that so? I know a lot of guys have trouble when they buy like older lathes. Is that a 3-phase deal, or how do you run it?
Yeah, it was 3-phase, and then we're converting it to single phase, but it's actually running on 110 volt. I think it's like a quarter horse off of like an old air compressor.
Oh, not bad. You guys are thrifty up there.
Oh yeah.
But I suppose when you're nowhere near civilization, you gotta have that survival instinct.
Yeah, you got to be able to like put sticks together to make a race car kind of thing. So.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, we're creeping up there. We got a few viewers with us now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's.
Are we up to 2?
We're at 21. We haven't broken the record of 35 yet. If maybe if all your Canadian pals start sharing this video, we could break the old record.
Yeah, they're all sleeping.
That's right. I forget it's midnight. You had to stay up late for this.
I'm gonna use that as the excuse, but it's actually I have no friends.
Oh, yeah. I honestly I don't think any race car guy has any friends.
I got lots of Facebook friends.
That's all that matters. Jake Hildebrand, let's hear that lathe fire up. Last time we tried to start something on the show, it turned into an audible disaster of
well, I'll just if he wants to hear it, I'll just show him. This is the best part.
I think Jake Hildebrand lives off of cold starts, and I think every show he comments, "Fire that thing up."
I haven't used it in a little bit, but what do we got here?
If you lose a hand messing with this thing, it's gonna be the greatest live show ever.
I just switched. We were like running diesel heat in the garage. Actually, I should shut that off too. So we just switched to propane. So I got a bunch of shit moved around, kind of thing. I don't know if you could hear that in the background.
No, I can't hear nothing.
She's whisper quiet.
Is it running right now?
Yeah.
Oh, not bad at all. Not bad at all. So you do make quite a bit, most of your own. I don't know how. You make a good chunk of your own parts. Let's say that.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm a mechanic. So, like, I don't own my own shop. So this is my home garage, but my main thing is like, if you could make it and try and save some money.
Right.
Put the money somewhere else that you could not make, I guess.
Yeah, I hear you. I think so. Is there anything on the top side of that car that you made? I know you did the oil pan, which would be tough to see right now.
What do you want? You want the Amazon radiator?
I want to see some greasy homemade Canadian maple syrup infused race car parts.
Some gross diamond plate.
Oh yes, now we're talking.
That's the fuel system there. We got made these headers. It's hard to tell what the cameras are actually looking at, but got some headers. We got friggin'.
Oh, hang on. Pause. Stop. Do we have O2 in every tube?
What?
Is there an O2 sensor in every header tube?
No. Like there's bungs.
Okay, I was gonna say this is a $high operation.
So one was for the MSD, one was for my LM2 from Innovate.
Sure.
So you just move them around. It's got EGTs. Yeah. So that's the other thing that you might like. This is like this right now. So before, this was just a fucking rat's nest of wires, MSD boxes, ARC modules, friggin' screens, fish finders, just everything you can imagine.
What's going there now?
Kind of stuff like that. Oh no, it's not top secret. I'm gonna try and join the Holly crew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Great.
Not all the way though. Not all the way.
It's gonna be if you leave them behind.
My biggest thing is the last time we were out, trying to data log stuff. Like I have too many boxes in the car, nothing talks to each other, so I'd have like 7 USB cables trying to get data from each thing, and it was just too much of things not recording, and then with this friggin' motor just melting down all the time, not knowing why it happened. So I'm hoping the Holly just kind of has everything on the same page. so I could look at a data log and be like, okay, that's why it melted this time.
That as long as we're on the topic, let's see. Topic of melting down. You sent me this picture earlier. What?
Yeah, so that was the first one.
That was the first crack at it.
Yeah, so that's what happens if you start melting down and then you stay in it to just make sure it melts all the way, kind of deal.
Right. I mean, I can relate. I did that at Grove Creek. You hear it come apart, and your brain tells you one thing, and your foot just won't come off the floor.
Well, the thing with that one is we had the wrong stator in the car. So Neil Chance built my converter for me. It's a bolt together because Canada shipping parts back and forth is always a kind of a big deal. So it's easier to just order stators and rip the converter apart yourself.
Right.
But it was too tight because when I first told him what I wanted to make for power, he built the converter for what I wanted to make. But then we were trying to like step up to that kind of. So every time I'd shift, it would lug the engine down really hard. So normally with my nitrous car, because this is just a small block, if something happened, you'd feel it lay over. But every pass felt like it laid over just because the stator was so tight.
Sure.
So when this happened, I didn't actually know it was happening as far as a feeling. And then I like to think it was just testing out the burn down tubes that come out the tank in the back here.
Did they work?
Where we go? Can't see right there, that hole. Oh yeah, that was the first time I saw the steam engine going down. I threw the chute and I looked in the I got a little mirror in the back there, see how far back the guys are when I'm pulling off. But yeah, I threw the chute and saw the big smoke show behind me, and that's when I actually knew. So.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
a tough day. And
Yeah.
I don't even I want to dive into the second part of this, but I feel like I have to back up first, just so
Yeah.
anybody that is familiar with the car or you can be familiar with what we're about to talk about. So, 2019, it was a small block nitrous car, right?
Yeah. So it's a old school small block, not the LS like everybody's got. It's like your granddaddy used to have. So it was a Dart little M block with a normal cam height and everything like that. Eagle crankshaft, Eagle steel rods. It had diamond pistons in it, and then it went to CP pistons, CP Carilla. And later we found out that the expensive diamond pistons that they had made for us were the same as CP's dirt track 500 horsepower rated pistons. So the guy was telling me that I should probably upgrade that, but they had been in there for a while. So I bought off the shelf dirt track pistons to throw in there. But it was 15-to-1 compression. We'd spray 400, but anything over 350, it wouldn't pick anything up because the small base circle cam that we had to use, we couldn't get enough camshaft in it. So.
Right. So that was the combo we had last year, which,
Yeah.
as I talked about in the intro, a dominant big tire car cash at the creek. I mean, I don't want to. I know you won't go about it. I'll bring it up. Word on the street is 3 big tire finals and a W in one season.
Yep.
And if anyone's not familiar with our local series, Cash Creek, there's only 3 races. So all Canada here found his way into the final of every one of them.
Yeah, apparently it was the first big tire car to do that, I guess, or whatever.
Is it still
that? Maybe not. That's what they said, but I think 50 Shades did a whole bunch in a row.
Right. Is that who you ran in the event that you won? Was that against 50 Shades?
The event that I won was the same day that I got the bounty against 50 Shades.
Ooh, not bad.
But it's one of those things, like, do you pretend that you outran all of them, or do you just be like, yeah, he knocked the tires off and I made a bracket race A to B pass and took the W?
Last time I checked, W is a W either way you look at it.
Yeah, and like, does the final against Rodney count when Rodney broke and then I made a single? Maybe.
WCW, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not picky. However you get
Yeah.
it, you get it.
Right. So.
Okay. So you had this car that was working pretty well, and
Yep.
that was through 2019, and then you decided to blast it apart.
Yeah. So we went to a bunch of races, and like everything, we were feeling underpowered a little bit because we knew we were spraying as much as we could without changing the block and everything. So yeah, we decided to put a Pro Charger on it.
Nice.
Try and push some boost into it.
And that was what changed in the short block then to accommodate the Pro Charger?
We put a new Eagle crankshaft in it. Thanks to my sponsor, Eagle Crankshafts. And then I came across a new set of R&R aluminum rods that I got with. I bought a couple of these parts for it. So I got a Dart aluminum block that came with the rods and came with the belt drive for it. So
nice.
I used the rods, got CP pistons made for it.
Nice.
And then used my heads, and I put a NASCAR intake on it, just a cast intake, so and then slapped a carb.
What's the compression on it now?
10 and a half now.
Okay, so
to 1.
Small to 1 to 2, 3.
10 and a half to 1.
So you got it together, and obviously 2020 was not the year for a Canadian trying to race in the United States.
No.
I've heard different theories. I've heard that Corona shut down the border, and I also heard that the big tire racers at Cache at the Creek shut down the border. I'm not sure if that's true.
Yeah, that was the one I heard. But
not sure. So anyhow, hopping across the border, did you get to make a lot of test hits with the car this year then, with the new combo?
We did a couple just asphalt test hits or whatever, because we like to try and get into the no prep stuff when we can find races or whatever. Like, we have dirt roads and stuff around here, and our street, like, if we had a good street, it's like in the middle of town kind of thing. So it's like not the best place to just unload a non-street car kind of thing and try and make a test hit or whatever. So we're kind of stuck for the no prep stuff to actually come to you guys. Right. But we made a couple of test passes on some bare asphalt with some glue, and it didn't work out. It just roasted the tires.
So I've got a video here from you. Can I share this video? Or is this
oh yeah. Top secret? I don't know what one I sent you, but they all look the same anyways. They would, if anything, make one rotation and then knock the tire off. So
let's see. Let me bring in a screen here. I think this is the one you're referring to. So I think it's a slow-mo video, so nobody panic. And what, right about there?
See, that's your problem right there.
That's the
tires spinning.
The backdrop in this video is the most Canadian. Like, when somebody says I'm testing my car in the street in Canada, this is exactly what comes to mind. I couldn't have painted the picture any better myself.
Why, your streets don't look like that?
No.
Look how tight that asphalt is.
I mean, we've been on asphalt that looks like that. It's more the backdrop, the plentiful trees, and what I'm not even speculating what it is, but
yeah, that was the first time we put the zoomies on, and it sounds so wicked. It just echoes like crazy in that area there. So
they look awesome. I've tried to share audio on videos on this live stream. It doesn't quite pan out the way I want it to, but I was trying to find, you sent a picture. Oh, here we go. I think, is this one where you tried to knock the umbrella clean off the stand with the zoomies?
Yeah, that's my goal now. I don't even care about ET anymore. It's just about trying to get that umbrella to come out of the hole. That's all that matters now.
It's kind of like when we were on the dyno trying to knock the TV over. Nobody even cares what kind of numbers you got if you can knock it over.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
So
it's all about.
Obviously, is this a real racetrack? Is this a temporary racetrack or what?
Yeah, so this is Terrace Bay, Ontario. So I think it's about 20 years ago. The airport shut down there, so it was an airport. And then the car club got a hold of it, and they started putting on drag races. So it's quarter mile. The up to right about where you see my car, just behind that is concrete, and then it drops to asphalt. And yeah, they've been doing it for about 20 years. Now they started doing 2 or 3 a year. Before it used to just be one. So
that's it.
Yeah.
There's a whole racetrack for 2 events a year.
That's how I started drag racing. Is I made a 17.8 second pass in my 4-door Nova with like a 305 in it and a truck diff. And I made one pass, and I had to wait till the next year to make another pass.
Oh my goodness! That
yeah.
So how far is the closest track? You're in Thunder Bay, right?
Yep.
Okay, so how far is the closest track?
Brainerd, which is, if you're giving her, you could make it there in about 6 hours. 5.5.
Yeah. You're talking about Brainerd in the United States, not even in the country you live.
Right.
The closest racetrack, you have to cross a border.
Oh, yeah, for the closest. The next closest would be Winnipeg, which is, we just went there this year. I think we made it there in 7.5, 8.
Oh my goodness. I complain when I got to drive 3.5 hours to Cedar Falls. That is commitment if I've ever seen it.
Oh, I heard Mike just moved like 3 miles from a track now. That's got me jealous.
I know. I seen that on Facebook. I can't believe it.
These guys.
I mean, I'm waiting to see Mike just chop that big tire car right into the gate with no trailer now.
Yeah, he'll probably drive it there.
I don't know why it wouldn't. It would take more time to load the thing than it would just to drive there.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. I can't believe. So how many tracks? I mean, how many total tracks are in Canada?
Like Canada's pretty big. Like if you think of, it's just we're low. Like you got to stay low, kind of close to the border. The higher you get, it gets just bush. And there's nothing up there. It's just cold and bushy. But yeah, like in Ontario, if you went to like Toronto, which is probably 18 to 20 hours away, there's like a group of like 4 tracks around there.
Holy cow.
But it's quicker for me to drive to the States.
Right, definitely. Is it a pain to get a car? Like when you come racing down here? I mean, do they gotta go through the trailer and the whole 9 yards?
No, it's like too easy almost. I think that there's so many guys from Thunder Bay that go to race in the States, like even dirt track and stuff like that, that it's common for our border to just be like, where are you going? Oh, we're going to Brainerd to go racing. Okay. And then you just drive in. Yeah.
So is it easier to go across or to come back?
It's usually easier going across, like going into the States. Coming back, they're digging. They know that we're trying to bring some stuff back and not pay taxes on it or something. So
all those winnings, I see.
Yeah. All the car parts that you're trying to take out of the boxes and just throw in the trailer.
All right. So you got this new combo together, and I mean, let's just start at the beginning of the year. How many hits did you get in before we got to this point?
Like, you want the list of all the shit that happened this year? Well, How about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've only got so much time, but let's take her through the year. What went wrong? What went right?
Okay, broken parts. We'll start. We went to the dyno. It made 995 horsepower to the wheels at 7,000 RPM before it broke all the bolts off the coupler for the Pro Charger. Okay. I usually I shift this thing at like 88. So that's all. That's not me being like, check out how much power she's gonna make. That's just me not knowing past 7,000 when it makes.
Sure. Okay.
Next thing, this is good content if anybody wants to put a rear end together. When you look at buying axles and shipping them from Mark Williams to Canada, and then UPS dings you an extra $250 for bringing it across the border, that part sucks. But if you think you're going to save money by going to 35 spline because you had 31s in it before, and you're like, oh, it still uses the same carrier, it actually uses a different spool. So you need different bearings on that spool. So that's where that comes in. That sucker was in the lathe. That's in the car now too. So.
we have pictures. It's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we cut the spool down so that we could put the smaller bearings on it and put the 35s in the car. So that was another little bit of a setback. So we broke it on the dyno. Then we went to Terrace Bay for their test and tune. And I made an 1/8 mile hit. No, I made a 330, an 1/8 mile. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go a little bit past the 8th, maybe a full quarter. And as soon as I shifted first to second, I broke the input shaft in the transmission. So then we had to find a ringless input shaft. We found that in Calgary, and we got that sent. Oh yeah, there's a picture there. And then, so then we got that fixed, and then I got my new stator, and then the stator changed everything too, which made it, before with the other stator, it was lugging it down, so we couldn't actually rev it high. And then as soon as we put the stator in, we could actually rev it, and that's when we got into the running out of fuel issues, which burnt the piston. So then we figured out we thought we found out what the piston burnt, because there was a soft spot in my suction line to my mechanical fuel pump. So I thought that was it for sure, because the carb guy told me there's no way that it's the carb, it'd be the something went wrong in the fuel system. So we did that, and then we went to, where we go? We went to Manitoba. This is another thing where Holly would be nice, because I have no fail safes at all in the car. So before we went to Manitoba, I put this big red LED right behind the steering wheel. So if it started going lean and my Lambo was going lean, then the big red light would come on, and then I would pull my foot off. And by the time you react to a big red light and pull your foot off, that picture happens that you got up right now. So not quite as bad. So that cylinder had 30 PSI still, which we thought was pretty good. The plug was pretty much covered in oil, but we made another pass after that with a dead hole. And that's where the choo-choo train out of the back of the car really came to life, because she was just pumping oil everywhere.
Okay, so we're still on the first event?
No, this is like the third event now.
Okay, all right, we're on to the third. But we're on, this is the first time we wrecked anything. Motor.
No, this is the second one.
Okay,
it happened all so fast. It just kept going. But the first one with me holding it with the rod, where it's like burnt really good, and it burnt in behind. Oh, you can see that guy. So this was the first one. So she dug a hole right through, kind of.
Canadian dollars was a set of pistons worth every time?
Every dollar you spend, I have to spend $1.30.
Okay.
So, like $1,000 set of pistons is $1,300 for me.
So it was an expensive year, to say the least.
Well, I had 2 spare pistons.
Oh, that's not so bad. That makes it all
better.
But
Because of these heads, I have lefts and rights, and both of them were lefts. So that piston in that picture there should be another one with a new set of rings in it, and that's currently in the motor right now. because we had to go out and test again. So that's the one. So those are the new.
Here?
Yeah, those are the new rings on that sweet piston.
So you're telling me this piston, as pictured, is in your motor right now?
Yeah, and I made probably 8 passes on that sucker.
I don't even know what to say. I thought I was always the reckless one, but I'm not sure anymore.
Well, the thing is, like we knew that we kind of had a fueling issue, and I thought it was carburetor. So the last time we got to go out, I had no other piston, so I had to use that one. I had some rings. I drilled like the boosters and the main wells and everything in the carburetor to try and get more fuel, and threw that on. And then I put my nitrous kit on with no nitrous, so it was just a supplemental fuel system. And then just reading Craig's comment. So when we went the last time, then we actually started making like little pulls, check the air fuel, make another little tiny one, and it was still going lean. So we turned the nitrous kit on just to make sure my fuel system could keep up, and it went rich, and it was where it's supposed to be. So
what a year! I wish I had
What
some
a-
consoling words or something.
That was still fun.
So after all that, right now, like let's say it wasn't Antarctica where me and you live.
Yeah.
Are you ready to like make a pass right now, or do you got more that needs to happen?
Currently, my carburetor is in Australia.
Oh, all right. So yeah, I mean, other than like some little things like the carb's not here, etc.
Yeah.
Are you feeling good for the spring? Like you think you got a handle on it and we're ready to rip?
Well, yeah, like that motor, probably 5 holes right now are like 30 psi. There's a lot of bore distortion from things that happened or whatever. So we got to go through the block again, and I'll put pistons and rings in it.
Sure.
But other than that, just got to wire the car, put all the sensors in it, put an EFI system with no EFI. It's pretty much ready.
I think it's ready.
Oh yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
As long as they open the border up before April, I suppose.
Yeah, otherwise I'm stuck up here again, and I'll get maybe. We'll definitely go to Winnipeg more. They have they copy cache at the creek for a small tire. So I was actually trying to put a small tire class together for the guys in Terrace Bay, but sure. most of them are bracket racers. So trying to find something where the ETs are kind of in the same area, and that would mostly be guys on small tire there. So
right. So speaking of bracket racing, I know everybody's like, "Oh, dude," I'm watching the viewers are plummeting right now. So I used to bracket race a lot. That's how I started off.
I did too.
I was gonna say I feel like I remember seeing this car at Rock Falls bracket racing. Is that?
Oh
true?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every time I look at it, I thought I'm pretty sure I remember this car bracket racing back in the day. There you go.
All right, like that. Hey, little K&R.
Oh, K&R. God.
Yeah.
Funny. That looks like kind of an older rig, though, isn't it?
No, that's the Cube. That's the Pro Cube. It's got the Z-Force on it.
I could never afford it. The most I could afford is like the Little Wizard from Biondo, and that was about it.
Look at that product placement right there.
And too bad
you're gonna get one. You're gonna get one in the mail now.
I don't know what I would do with it. I do have like this desire to take my car bracket racing for some reason. I don't even know why, but sometimes.
That's what Terrace Bay is like all bracket racing. So they put on a quick 16 race, and so whenever I'm at Terrace Bay, there's always a bracket race on that weekend. Right. So this car still bracket races.
the quick 16, like if you're gonna bracket race, I mean, it's definitely the most exciting to spectate, I would say. I mean,
Well, it's just more fun because you have to qualify to get into it. So it sort of brings a little bit of a trying to get a fast ET out of it. So,
well, I think I still have my big tires for my car. So if they let you over the border, I think it mean you should probably go to Brainerd and enter one of these quick 16 races.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You're gonna put your big tires on. I'll put your small tires on.
I don't need the big tires. I'm just saying, if you're going to show up with big tires, I'm going to show up with big tires.
I don't know if we've been kind of talking about things, and I've been put in my place a couple times with these big tire guys. So I'm almost leaning towards putting something smaller right there.
Oh,
It's been in the talk. It's been lots of talk on it.
Recommend doing that.
Yeah.
We have to answer this. Just you read it and you tell me if it's true.
Sorry about that.
I mean, so you're obviously surrounded by 95% of the racers you race with are from the States.
Oh yeah.
Do the Canadian jokes ever get old? I mean, are you just like, give it up, guys?
Oh no. I'm only down there like 10 times a year, so.
Okay, cause I don't think I've ever seen you or talked to you without leading off with at least 2 to 3 Canadian jokes.
Oh yeah.
So do you guys find Trailer Park Boys funny or no?
It's a national treasure, and you can't graduate from high school unless you've watched the whole seasons. So.
Letterkenny, funny?
Letterkenny's funny.
Okay, so you guys do. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they don't find the humor in it. You know, it's like when we watch. Like, have you ever seen the movie Fargo?
Yep.
Okay, so a lot of people in Minnesota don't think it's funny. I think it's hilarious, and it's not even
just because the accent's too thick, or what?
Yeah, they pour it on a little too thick. I don't know. I'm glad you guys find it humorous because.
Well, I do, but I don't know. Maybe people in Canada don't. I could just be the one guy in his garage that thinks it's funny and nobody else does.
I think it's hilarious. It's the only reason. It's the only reason I communicate with you is it's like a real live Trailer Park Boys every time we talk.
Yes. Ask Greg about next time Greg's on. Ask him about ketchup chips from Canada. We brought him a whole bunch one time.
Ketchup. Oh,
I think you guys have them though. Some people in the States say that they've had them. So.
Ketchup chips. Is this like a homemade thing, or you're not just talking like a bag of chips at the gas station that says ketchup flavored?
Yeah, you guys have that, right?
I've never went looking for them.
I'm pretty sure you have them, but Greg says that you didn't have them, so we brought them like every type that has like Lay's and Old Dutch. We found them all and then brought them down.
I mean, we've got some weird flavors on the shelf, but. I don't know. Well, I'm going to bring Greg on next week just to confirm. Or I'm going to go find some this week. One of the two.
There you go.
My goodness. All right. Enough talk about ketchup chips, Trailer Park. Making people better. Making people better, and I am not getting any better. Greg says, will Pickles lifters cost more than a 5.3? Is that I think it's a personal attack on me for telling you.
I think that's personal attack. Because if we circle back to me being cheap, all my lifters are used, and I buy them off like eBay or Facebook Marketplace.
I like it. I'm still in need of a lifter. I've been too lazy to go to the junkyard. That's where I buy my lifters. I'm not quite marketplace like you are, but the local pick and pull. That's where I get mine. Yeah, I've never bought a new set of lifters. I could proudly say that. See, no, yeah, I did buy one set one time. They were stock replacements. It was out of necessity, but one time I did buy new lifters. Like, I would like to buy new lifters, but that money could go somewhere else, I guess. So I'd like a lot of things, but yep. Same way. Did you paint the cage gold, or was it gold when you got the car? What did the car look like when you got it? I paid $80 for this car. It had leaf springs through the trunk.
It had rust halfway up the doors. The front clip was rusted off it. It started as a back half, like I kept the front, and then I just back halfed it. It was on the street for probably 3 weeks, and then after some shenanigans, I decided that I should probably just keep my license or whatever, and then just turned it into more of a race car. So
$80.
it's been through.
Is that 80
Yep.
Canadian or US?
That's 80 Canadian, so that's probably like $50 American.
That's wild. That's a bargain. How long
Yeah,
have
it
you
was
had
pretty. It's a pretty good deal. 2007.
Okay. So yeah, indeed, every time I saw this car, you've been the owner of it.
Yep.
Okay.
That would have been me.
Because I wasn't sure, because like I said, I remember watching the car bracket race, so I didn't know when I first met you in the heads up world. I was like, did the car get sold and converted? Is it the same guy? I wasn't quite sure what was going on there.
Yeah. I used to have like a white cage in it. It's always been the same color, and then usually the hood just changes.
Did it get named Little Pickle because of the color, or you named it Little Pickle and then painted it the color of pickles?
It was that color, but that was my nickname in high school with the ladies. No, it's it's a small block, so that's the little part, and then it's green, so Little Pickle.
Not bad. I mean, I like it. It sticks. I've never referred to the car and somebody goes, "Who's that?" Everyone knows exactly what car it is.
Yeah. It's that dickhead.
Accurate. Does it have? It's kind of like you got the big valance in the front, right?
Yeah.
Cutter. Does it?
So I just figured this year, looking at other people's cars online, that when I was younger and I got this car, before I took the grill, there's supposed to be a piece between here and the bumper, but I just put the bumper over top and riveted it. So my bumper actually sits like an inch higher than it should be. That's why that splitter ended up being so big.
I just thought that was all the rage nowadays. I swear to God, every year the splitters get bigger and bigger on these cars.
Mine's just because with the splitter off, I think you have a picture from Manitoba. I didn't have the splitter on, and where the way I built the cage, it looks like plow mounts sticking out of the front. So I just hate the look without the splitter.
Now I won't be able to find splitterless pictures.
Well, yeah, I could just I can put it down here and you'll see it too. Just if whenever you look at it like this way, that's where right there is where you hook the plow up so you can plow the driveway.
It might not stick out if it wasn't yellow.
Yeah, but even on my other cage, I had them black, and in photos, you just see it all the time. I think it's probably because I'm not a chassis builder, but I built my chassis, so they probably do something different instead of just stick the front out 6 feet from the.
Right.
But I don't I tried cutting them back before, but it's just I think it's just the way I built it.
Sure.
Maybe my control arms or something. This pipe maybe should have went behind. I don't know. I ain't no Jerry Pickle, I'll tell you that much.
We're here now. Not much we can do about it.
Yep. It did hurt. So it does have a 6.0 cert in it.
6.0. Gosh, wow.
6.0, baby.
Ready in the 8th or?
That's should be. Need more motor to actually use this cage.
It's a pretty good looking unit. I do dig the zoomies. I feel like it really just tops off the look here.
Yeah, the zoomies turned out super nice.
I'm assuming you.
I was. Yep.
Not bad. Good looking unit. Oh, all right, that's it. I told myself I would not drag these on any longer because last week it went on far too long. You mentioned the Eagle. You mentioned your uncle. Is there anybody else you want to talk about before I cut you off?
My wife Stacy's the only reason I actually have this thing. Otherwise, it would probably still be 10 seconds with just like a bunch of extra parts wasted on it. And then I would probably still live at my mom's house. So thanks for that.
I mean, I thought
She's
you
good.
did live at home.
No, I wish.
And Eagle, did I catch that right? The sponsor.
Eagle? Yeah, Eagle hooked me up with the crankshaft this year.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't even promote them good because we were stuck up here.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the car's in the Eagle catalog, right? Am I right? Do I remember that correctly? There's a picture of it.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. Cool. Well,
Sweet.
Thanks for staying up till, I don't know, 3 or 4. I think
it's only an hour. It's not that big deal.
It's actually 13 hours on the clock. It appears to be 1 hour, but truly, it's.
Oh, is it a whole day? Is it morning right now?
It's 11 a.m. where you are now.
Nice.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
And we'll all be rooting for you to get across the border next year.
Sounds good. Thanks again, John. See ya.